And we'll hold the ball aloft, and away we go. Richmond and the Northern Blues, round 10 action on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
A top 4 berth up for grabs for the Blues, and Richmond could be in the 8. Married straight down to Ballard, and they're going to get the first inside 50, the Tigers. Garthwaite the target, and he took the mark. That's a very neat start. The kick to come from just inside the arc on a slight angle.
What was that, about 13 seconds? Clearance, bang.
Harrison McCready just tried to mark that one and got outmarked, obviously, but you would have thought very early in the game you go the spoil early.
So Garthwaite, who's played the majority of the year down back, hasn't registered a goal for season 2017, has his opportunity to get on the board at the 36-second mark of this opening term. Brushes past the paint. The kick is starting right and finishing right. One behind. That's the margin. Tigers up 47 seconds into this opening term.
Camo Shea to bring the ball back in for the Blues. He's doing a lot of pointing, just trying to set it up, and he's going to go straight up the middle of the ground. It's a high kick, looking for Korchek as the tall target. It falls to ground. Now an opportunity for the Blues as they head from half back to half forward, but it's going to be turned over. Caulfield takes the mark. Centre half back. Goes a little shorty ball. That's okay. Beasley. Still inside the centre square. Defensive side for Richmond. Calls for the players to head to the grandstand side of the ground. The kick heading in the Chol direction, but coming in to take the mark is Simon White for the Blues. And half back will go shorts, and that's okay. Jacks takes the mark. Still a few short options on. Coming up on the lead is Luke Russell, and that's honoured. He's going to maybe think about a short option too. Working there from Mackay. Good work off hands. Now the ball in the hands of the Tigers. Silvestro kicking up towards half forward. Through hands, working through some space is Alice around one. It was pushed off his kick. It spills free. Opportunity for the Blues. Wilson getting on to it. 360. Managed to throw the handball out. No one can get clean possession. Goes into the path here of Chol. He's right near the boundary line. He closes to 45. His kicks across the face though. It's rolling out of bounds. And we'll have it thrown in 10 metres around from the Richmond goal. They lead it behind to no score, 2 minutes in.
Daniel Caulfield for the Tigers copped a heavy one in the marking contest. He's come straight off.
Good to see the attack on the footy from Mackay. Hilly, that's what your big bloke's doing.
It's been very impressive so far this season, Mackay, and certainly I think the Blues see a great future with him.
So Korchek's going to have front position here. Wasn't a deep throw in that allowed him to knock it down. Paulson takes it away from the stoppage. Right foot kick. Now Vlosten's going to be first to the footy here. Can he get away from his man Sumner? He did well, but Sumner got a hold of him. Terrific pressure. Ball spilled free to the number in Silvestro, who squared it off across half forward. Now there's a chance for a long ball to the top of the square for the Tigers. Chol didn't fly in the end. Sat down for Morris, who just had it knocked out of his hands. White got a hold of it. Knocked over the line by Morris. And they'll toss it in. Richmond doing the majority of the attacking so far. 3 into this opening term. And it's a point the difference, the Tigers in front.
So ball in a dangerous position here for the Blues. Right inside the Tigers 50. Chol doing the ruck work. Trying to bring the ball to ground. It was Wood overrunning it. Trying to get clear. Korchek making a nuisance of himself. Working his way through Miles for the Tigers. But it's a clearing kick for the Blues. Into really open space on centre wing. And Big Ivan Maric had all the time in the world to steady that kick. Found Broad. Just on the edge of the square. Centre wing. Here at Punt Road, this famous ground. He kicks inside the 50. Well, Korchek dropped really what he should have taken. Stengel flew onto the ball. Handball out to Chol. Handball forwards. Inside the 50 here for the Tigers. Just bumped off it was Silvestro trying to find a path through. No one's going to get clear from this, and the umpire will throw it up right near the boundary line, just inside the 50 for the Tigers.
Both teams playing with a man loose at the moment, and it's helping the Tigers set up defensively here.
Korchek down to Wilson. Big tackle from Ballard. Wilson just stood up in it. Magnificent stuff. Ballard on all fours. Got it away to Miles. Quickly away looking for Smith. No good. Vlosten got it away back to Miles. It just spilled it for a moment, but went back to Vlosten. Back to Smith. Good tackle. Had to get rid of it. Batchelor left foot kick inside the 50. One for the Flyers. There's no run at the footy, so a big fist gets it down. Morris across to Stengel. Can snap across the body. And I reckon he's done it. The first of the day goes to Richmond. They're 1-1-7. The Blues yet to score. Almost 5 gone in this opening term.
It was a good finish in the end. They found the free player, Hilly.
Certainly, and Stengel's been really lively in the couple of games that we've covered so far this season. It's good to see him get an early one.
It's his 16th of the year, Hilly, and his 10th game, going beautifully.
So great start for the Tigers. 117 plays no score as the sun comes out. It's even better news. Well, all this equipment will be dry by the time we get out of here. We can be sure of that. So back in the middle. 5.5 minutes gone in this opening quarter. Korchek, going to work, just lost it. Soldo was the player in the ruck. He managed to get it to ground. We're still in the centre circles. Ball going absolutely nowhere, and the umpire will come in and throw it up again. Umpire tosses it up. Soldo, I think, was being held by Korchek. Or was it the other way around? It's the other way around. Korchek was being held onto. He will take the free kick, which becomes a free handball as O'Shea goes long inside the 50. Mackay, he can't do anything with it. Swooping on the footy is Stavrou. He's tackled right near the line. The ball goes over. We'll have it thrown in where the 50 and the boundary line intersect for the Blues. 117 plays no score. 6 minutes gone in this opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
So the Blues with a rare entry here. A chance to get on the board themselves. Tossed in. Korchek and give this one to Soldo. Straight down. Stolen away by Palmer. He had it knocked away. Ballard was there in support. Little kick around the corner from Townsend. Got it to the wing. Sitting underneath it is White. Oh, he spilt the chest mark. This might allow the Tigers in, but numbers are good. Last McCasker out the back for the Blues. Down Jacks. He goes to Boone. They've worked it nicely to Russell. He's going to go on his right boot inside the 50. Tigers with numbers. Dangerous ball out the back. LeBoy almost had a chance. Miles was there to mop up for the Tigers. Got it to Darley, to Soldo. Under pressure from Gallucci. Oh, he put Smith in just as much, and then he has to go back and win it back, and he did. Big Avant. Good stuff. Got it away to Hunt. Heads down the line. This is out of bounds on the full. It'll be a Blues footy.
Yep, and it'll be Kieran Byrne, I think, was the player who was closest to that. He's going to take it.
I think I've robbed his mate Sheen of a kick on this wing too, Pete.
Oh, you've given it back. You've squared it up. That's okay. Kick is short. Finds Strawn. Strawn 55 from goal. Going long. And, well, they found the free player in the end. I think it's Kerr who's taken it. It is Paddy Kerr. Who got through a little bit too easily there. And will line up and have a shot. 25 out, pretty much directly in front.
It's a very clean player, Paddy Kerr, and obviously making some strides early in the season this season, and you can certainly see him figuring for the Carlton Blues later in the year.
So Kerr comes in, kick on the way, and there's the first for the Northern Blues. And then one straight 6, Richmond 117. We've gone 8 minutes in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live. So things starting to even up. It was all the Tigers in the opening 5 or so minutes, but the Blues fighting back.
And people still pouring in there, Hilly, into the ground.
Yeah, the terrace is starting to fill quite nicely, and I think we'll be in for a crowd of a couple of thousand today.
So Wood's gone back into the middle here. Soldo amongst it as well with Townsend. Wilson goes to Wood, and it'll be Bolger up against Soldo. They both went early, so it allowed Miles in. He got it out the back to Townsend. That was a nice left foot kick. Found Morris, who's on the burst on the wing. He's going to go longer than the initial lead. Want to mark deep at the top of the square. 2-on-2. Fisted away for the Blues. Buckley half a chance, but Hunt got there first. He squares it across the face. Now Soldo's got to go to work here. It just held up in that breeze, silly. Came down to O'Shea off hands. He ran it over, and they'll toss it in. So the Tigers in a good spot again. White just tracking Morris for the moment. A likely man in these circumstances. Bathy's around the footy as well. He's going to go to work on Bolger in the ruck contest. We'll give that one to Ryan towards the line. Sheehan had it, lost it, got it back again. Kept tracking the ball towards the line, and Garthwaite's happy to see him over.
The Tigers look really big and dominant in the ruck, and that's how the game sort of panned out so far. Both Ivans doing well. And when you've got Bathy can play in the ruck as well, they've got a lot of options through the ruck area.
Yeah, but Bathy is the option this time. Player going down for the Blues behind play in that contest. They're going to take the free kick. And it's Dylan Buckley who was pushed out. So he'll take it deep inside defence. Goes short to White. Was that 15? Just. White goes on, and now Wilson, the free player outside the 50. The kick goes over his head. He's still got a little bit of time. Decides to go off the ground. He puts it straight into the path of Silvestro, though, who's picked up the footy. He's kicked it down the ground. He's turned it over. Player's not watching and just really sort of blazing away. Not the best option. Meanwhile, we're going to go a couple of short kicks here. Wilson's going to be the player right in front of our commentary position.
Boundary umpire just went down.
Hope he's okay. Slippery surface. The kick's gone back to Buckley, who thought about switching, then decides to go straight up the ground, looking for Mackay. Fall of the ball, Dennis, kick inside the 50, and Floston comes in and takes the defensive mark for Richmond.
Wants to head to the outer side of the ground. There's a bit of run coming for the Tigers, so the kick didn't hit the target, and there's trouble here for Richmond. They just need to be clean. It's stolen away by McCready. Got it back to his mate in support. Now they need to get away with Palmer, who got it to Gallucci. Little chip in board. Might suit Dennis. No, stolen by his own teammate. Chance for Paulson. Got the handball away to Stavro. He's taken the ground. And the umpire is going to tell us that he will toss it up 49 metres out from the Blues goal line. Good game of footy. Good intensity in this opening term. Knocked away from the ruck contest to Townsend, who tumbles it through the middle of the ground. It beats Chol on the bounce. McCready out the back, and he's well tackled by Garthwaite. The umpire says, give it to me, please, gentlemen.
Still both teams persisting with this loose player behind the ball. So it might lead to a low-scoring affair at the moment. Just the extra number back certainly helping both teams.
Ball up, and Bolger flew very high. Ball falls to ground. Ball in the path of Morris. He bounced to his feet nicely. Here's an opportunity. Straightening up nicely is Jake Arts, and he kicks the goal. He had some space. He was 20 out, had time to steady. And Arts kicks the second for the Tigers. They're 2-1-13. Playing the Northern Blues 1 straight 6, and we have played 12 minutes in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Jake Arts, of course, formerly of Bendigo, the Bendigo Golds.
Looks lively, doesn't he? Given an opportunity in that forward 50.
Well, there's a few Bendigo players who were on Bendigo's last list who've got opportunities at VFL level and are really making the most of them.
Yeah, it's good to see. So Stengel being picked up by Kieran Byrne inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. One to watch there is it's out the back of the contest. Miles being taken high, and he has the footy in the middle of the ground. And he's going to head to half forward, sitting underneath it. Buckley did really well to force a contest. The support comes from Russell. Got it back to White down the line. Nice kick to Palmer, who took the mark. He wheels around on his left. Sold Smith a bit of candy, then heads to half forward. 1-on-2 is LeBoy for the Blues against 2 Caulfield. One of those Tigers allows some support and Beasley to come in. Got it away to Smith by hand. Off half back now. The Tigers have some space in Townsend. They've got one out the back too. The mark is taken by Stengel. Now, what's the next use going to be like? He comes through the middle. Didn't quite sit initially, but in the end, Ellis just waited for it to bounce. Got it away to Marich. His little chip in board. It's going to be a chance for Wood, who's got all the time in the world to swing around and miss to the left. 2-2-14 to 1 straight 6. 13 and a half gone opening term.
So, again, it's the Tigers who just maintaining control. Here's Wilson, who received it from the kick out. He kicks to O'Shea, a running O'Shea. He's got some space on that outer side. He's just being corralled. His kick up the line, though, is under all sorts of pressure. And it's out of bounds.
He was
on the full.
Called to play on there, Pete. And he clearly looked like he'd just taken the mark and was taking a step back.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason was called to play on. So just found himself wrong-footed and made an error.
Now here's Woods. Kick going in short. And Bathy comes out to take the mark. He's 52 metres out from goal. And it's looking like he's going to go back and have the shot. And with the light breeze, Hill, you can understand why.
It's only a slight breeze, and he is a prodigious kicker of the football.
So go back and have the shot.
I'll say he won't quite get there, though.
Plenty of numbers on the goal line, to be fair. 52 metres out. Bathy gives it everything he's got. And with that, he was off target. Through for a behind. 2-3-15, playing one straight 6. We've gone 15 minutes in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
So, Blues to bring it back in. A long ball. Oh no, eventually the change of mind might have made things difficult. Russell couldn't get a hold of it. Buckley could. They got a hold of him, but too high. That was a little fortuitous for the Blues as they tried to bring it out. Buckley going to go longer this time, hoping for a Sumner mark. He's got 2 to beat, and he does! Oh, that'll bring the crowd to life early. Strawn got the handball away, and they try and work it through Russell through the middle of the ground. He wants a mark inside the 50. Bolger working hard to get back there. Mackay ditto, but Caulfield read it best. And he takes the saving mark for the Tigers, now 50 metres.
That's amazing.
Well, he was being held up. He was told...
He went to step forward after taking the mark, and the player rightly held his position.
Oh, I think grabbed him as well. The kick going across the ground. And here's the 23rd player, Derek Smith.
So Smith heads to our commentary side of the ground. Ballard knocked it away from Sumner, who got it away. Now some space for LeBoy. Can he back himself in? He decides to use the short option. That's nice stuff to the young fowler.
No one forward for the Blues.
No.
They're struggling forward of the ball in terms of structure.
So Russell has the footy. Going to give it to Jacks. He can kick it a long way. That's where he heads.
6 Richmond players back there.
Lost and all on his own, and he takes the mark.
He does. Well, they're just clearing as much, whatever they like. Ellis will just use his teammate alongside, and they go long, and Scholl's all on his own here. He just got to pick up the footy. It didn't bounce right for him, but now the cavalry arrived. Morris there too. Now an opportunity. Bouncing footy for Stengel. Oh, and he's missed. Gee, that was a real opportunity off the post. 16 minutes gone, 17 minutes gone in this opening quarter. 2-4-16, playing one straight 6. A big let off there for the Blues.
And now they've got the footy on the outer side. As Byrne going to come back inboard. That's a neat enough kick. What can they do with the next one? Richmond corralling well as Strawn provides an option at the top of the square. Defensively, Morris now called to play on, so he puts some pressure on, but Jacks has given Strawn an out, and he uses him deep in the back pocket. Nicely populated terrace on that half-forward flank in front of the Jack Dyer stand. Out the back, Ballard takes the mark. Used his body beautifully. Squares them off to Darley, who's got it almost in the middle. The boy called to play on, so he chases him down from the mark, and then Darley's going to head for Stengel. He's got a couple to beat there. White, one of them. Left foot kick around the corner. Gets him out of trouble initially. Byrne just kept running for the footy. That was good stuff. Down the line he goes. Wanted Palmer to run onto it. Darley comes to close him down, but Palmer picks up the footy. He's going to retreat by 25 metres. And they've now got some control in Armfield. Well, Dennis.
Just a lot of slow, stagnant Blues players at the moment. Just no run.
He goes looking for Mackay and gets him. That's a nice, strong set of hands. And the Blues can attack from the half-forward flank.
Now, who's inside 50? They've got Sumner. Now a few players make their way in. Now the big forward is 60 from goal. Kicks long. Korchek at the back. Trying to find some way through as Caulfield held up. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in deep into attack here for the Blues. Tigers leading 16-6. 18 and a half minutes gone in the opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live. There's the ball to be tossed back in. As will be Mackay. It's a shallow throw in, so Marriage had it all to himself. His quick kick though is going to be turned over. Wilson onto it. Takes the mark. 55 from goal. Near the boundary line. On the station side, his kick over the top looking for Mackay. He'll get it eventually because it was Townsend who got hands to it, just couldn't grasp it. Handball over the top. No one can get clear. Ellis trying to get through, wrapped up by Palmer, and the umpire will throw the ball up. 16, play 6, 19 gone in the opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live as the ball's tossed back up. Forecheck there, but Ellis to run onto it. His clearing kick. Just over the head there of Garthwaite. Chol trying to get himself involved in the contest. Working there nicely. Glass McCasker. Back to Wilson. And now they should just take their time going forward because there's not a lot of options up ahead. The kick across the ground is good. Sheehan did well under some pressure. He rolls to 55. His kick is low and his kick is good, and Korchek takes the mark and will line up and have a shot pretty much directly in front from 40.
Really smart play there from Sheehan, lowering the eyes rather than blazing away.
And, well, a real opportunity for the Blues for all the footy and all the possession that Richmond's had in this opening quarter. The Blues with this kick could bring it back to 4 points the difference. Good crowd at the Swinburne Centre at Hunt Road Oval. Korchek comes in. It's a high kick. Has it chipped over the top? It has. He's done just enough. He gave it plenty of height. A bit like Hilly on the golf course, just chipping it onto the green.
It's like a pitching wedge, that one.
It was. So the margin back to 4 points here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. 2-4-16 playing 2 straight 12. We've gone 20 and a half minutes in this opening quarter.
So Marriage off for Soldo as he goes back into the middle and Korchek awaits. This has been an entertaining game so far. 20 minutes in to the opening term, and it's just 4 points the margin. Bit on the line for both clubs today, and the build up to the big one at the MCG this afternoon. Here's Soldo in the middle, knocked it down. Paulson got the little handball out the back. That was nice to Russell. He heads to half forward, wants a mark. He's not going to get one from anyone. But Broad, who takes the mark for the Tigers, he's going to chip this over the top to Vloston. That's nice. And he can just settle things down at half-back. Although he elects to handball, got brought into all sorts of trouble. Lucky he was good enough to get out of it. A second time, got the kick just as he was being tackled. A big fly early from Soldo, right in the back of Korchek. He was about 2.5 days early, and the umpire will reward the free kick to the Blues as Korchek heads to the outer flank. White, who's just picked up the numbers early in this opening term, heads to Strawn. On the punt road side of the ground, Mackay attacking the footy, infringed upon, rules the umpire. Caulfield getting into his back, and Mackay has it smack bang centre wing. He goes backwards to White. Garthwaite was closing, but White took the mark. He's going to come further afield to McCready. He can just pedal across half-back. He sends a low dart out to Wilson,
Just on the
who
ground.
just had enough time to spill it and get it back. Going back Hunt, that was a big play. Hunt didn't take the mark. They had numbers running forward, but now it's going the other way. The Tigers streaming forward. Morris gets it from Arts. On the end of it, Ballard can just run onto the handball. It suits for him on the bounce. He has a little outside of the boot job. Not sure if he meant it or not. The Tigers still alive, but Strawn comes across to pick up the loose crumb. Heads with a high ball. Caulfield just couldn't quite hold onto it. Palmer's got 2 Tigers to beat. He goes to work at the air, in the air and then at ground level, and that's not a bad result for the Blues. 4 points the margin. They'll toss it up, half forward flank for Richmond. 23 minutes gone in the opening term.
Hailing the taxi as well as holding the ball in. He did a good job there, Reece Palmer.
Against a couple of large blokes.
Exactly. Now ball over the top intended for Silvestro, but LeBoy coming through. He's ridden into the ground and going to be pink folding the footy. I'm not sure how much of an opportunity he had there because it was instantaneous, but Silvestro to take the free for the Tigers. 55 from goal. He's going to go short into the pocket, and that's okay because Ellis is there. He takes the mark. Tight angle, though. He'll be kicking from just inside the 50, but on the boundary line. And you imagine Hilly, I mean, as he looks around trying to assess his options, that he would have had plenty of practice goal kicking from that particular spot.
Oh, you'd think so, Pete, but just kicking into the breeze, given today's conditions with the breeze coming across the ground. So he'll have to hang this one out to the left and hopefully it comes back.
So his kick is flat and out of bounds on the full.
Tough spot.
Tricky spot. Well, I do notice when they're having their goal kicking practice, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the netting at the back. So gives you something to aim for.
So the Blues, they bring it back in with a long ball. We've seen a bit of footy that other side. Mackay again presenting as the target, and Buckley read it beautifully off hands. He darts away and gives it to another speedster, and Gallucci got around his man and had a bounce. He's got runners inside, ignores them, heads with his right boot to the space inside the 50. Chance for the Blues now, deep in the pocket, Strawn around the corner, right to the goal line. Batchelor fists it through, and that'll do for Richmond. 2-1-13 the Northern Blues, 2-4-16 the Tigers, 24 gone in this opening term.
There's Foster to bring the ball back in. Goes short, and that's a good option because Caulfield been lively early, takes the mark. Still inside defensive 50 for the Tigers. He goes even shorter to Silvestro, who goes short up the line too to Miles, who's just being held. He was called to play on, working there. Darley just got rid of a player, got rid of his opponent, and Palmer will take the free kick. So Palmer now, chance for the Blues to the boy, who goes short kick style over the top. They might as well just hold it up here because Fowler, the 23rd player's got it. And he'll line up from a tricky spot too. I thought it was tricky down the other end of the ground. It's tricky here as well for the young player. But it looks confident, looked like he's going to take the shot. As he comes in now, tight on the boundary line. 40 outs. The kick holds up. Curb, oh, bounce through. Touched off hands.
Ooh.
There was a hand in there somewhere. I didn't quite see who it was, but there was one in there. 25 and a half gone in this opening quarter. 2-4-16 playing 2-2-14 here in this opening quarter.
An interesting contest continues here. 2 points the margin. Richmond to bring it back in. Now
Just
whistle.
stepped out
Out of the square, I think.
And it was
Out of the goal
Darley.
square.
So the ball will be brought back and they'll toss it up at the top of the square.
It's a late quarter mistake. You just don't need those.
Not one of those ones that will inspire people to move into coaching. As Mackay goes to work on Soldo. Stavru half a chance away from him. A little snap. Is it going to get the distance? Touched on the line. Came from the 23rd man in Fowler. He's had a bit of the footy in the opening term. And Richmond will bring it back in.
So take two here for the skipper. Darley this time, make sure. Goes short. Floston works it back. Oh, this is dangerous as Darley goes long and high outside the 50, and White comes in, takes a good mark for the Blues. And plays on two, gets rid of an opponent, 55 out, kick into the pocket, and Palmer coming out to take the mark. And again, they've just been forced wide inside 50, which makes these tricky shots at goal.
Just a left footer from that pocket's extremely difficult. Just given the wind, it is quite strong from across the ground.
He's going to be sort of 15, 20 metres out on the angle.
You're thinking banana, I think, Pete.
27 minutes, and that's exactly what he does, and he slams it into the posts. Not a bad effort from that position. And so, scores a level, 2-4-16 apiece. 27 gone, opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
That feels about right too as we get to quarter time. Smith takes the mark in the back pocket. Richmond early, but the Blues have closed late in this first term. They go with a long ball out of defence. Chance for Wood, did really well. Got it to Hunt. He was taken perhaps without the footy. Jacks got the handball away. Stavru right against the line. Did well to keep it in. Allowed half a chance for Armfield, who got it back for Stavru, who just charges through. The raging bull that he is, he's well held. And they'll toss it up on the arc. Plenty of intensity around the contest so far. We're all tied up at 2-4-16 apiece. 28 gone opening term. Soldo down to Miles. Now round the corner from Russell. Kept it in. Might be a big play. Was there a push out at the back? Vlosten takes the mark. Nothing called on, and the Tigers look for the switch across the face of goal. Arts has made some space in front of Buckley. Goes to work with a handball. Looking for Broad. Sold him into all sorts of trouble, but Broad good enough to get it back to Arts, who quickly away. Got it to Darley. He's well tackled initially, but then slipped it. Got away to Silvestro. Now his handball's a little dodgy. Smith comes in to clean it up, and that's quarter time. A good quarter of footy. 2-4-16 apiece. 28 and a half that opening term went, and we have no idea on who's going to win. We're no further advanced than we were before they bounced the ball. 2-4-16 apiece at quarter time.
All right, let's go through the goal kickers then. 2 quarter time for the Tigers. Stengel and Arts, their goal kickers. And question in there, which I think you were tempted to do at some stage.
Always am.
Some stats to quarter time?
Yeah, for the Tigers, Ballard and Ellis, along with Silvestro and Vlosten, all have 7 touches. Miles with 6 to quarter time.
Okay, let's get stuck into this second quarter. We're level 2-4-16 apiece here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
And back to Marich and Korchek. Little handball from Korchik for Paulson. Just slipped through his hands. Townsend was there to mop it up. Under all sorts of pressure, Hunt did well to free the arms and got it away to Darley. He flicks it out the back. Broad. He has his kick smothered, but goes and gets it again. Nice composure there on his left boot now. Heads to half forward. Morris is sitting underneath this one. Did well. White was bearing down. Now, is there enough space inside that 50 to make the most of it? Batchelor's drifted forward to outside the arc. He's ignored that, and now he's just going to chip to space. He wants some movement. He doesn't get anything other than a very good effort, but not paid in the end of the Blues as it spills to ground. Stengel around the corner. It's going to go deep into the pocket. Scholl goes to work on Jacks, just kept it in. Ellis, well tackled, came to Jacks. Now can he get a kick away? He does. Rushed under all sorts of pressure in the air. There was Miles, and it spilled out the back for White, who picked up the crumbs and got it away to Wilson. The Blues building along the wing. He takes his time and gives the handball, looking for Russell. And he had Caulfield coming the other way. Happy to see it over. They'll toss it in. Minute gone in this second term, and we're still at 2-4-16 apiece.
So the ball to be thrown in. This centre wing overlooks an absolute picture. Overcast conditions as Korchek and Marich, well, sat in between them so no one could take it cleanly. Coming through nicely there was Fowler. He's been pretty good early, the 23rd player. The ball heading towards half forward for the Blues, with plenty of numbers here for the Tigers. Batchelor, so it's his teammate running. Now they've got some opportunities through the middle of the ground, although Morris stayed down. White was there, slid the handball out, but he turned it over to Silvestro, who just handballs forward. Jacks had to get around some traffic, did really well in the end. Got a few teammates running alongside. Sheehan, one of those, who kicks it further afield. Working there is Russell, as Russell now goes short, and that's okay. Finds Paulson. As, I don't know, is Hilly having something to eat down there? Is the kick going up the line? Korchek just out muscled there by Caulfield. Still a chance though for the Blues. Working here, Luke Russell, 360'd. Lost a handle on it. Now an opportunity for Garthwaite as he kicks up towards the 50. Working front position was White for the Blues. Now they get the opportunity. Again, the Blues through the middle of the ground this time. And that's Palmer again, who's gotten on the end of it. He's having some sort of game early on. Gets around Darley. And the kick inside 50, not good. It falls straight to Silvestro, and they're away here. Miles will just go with the long ball inside 50. They're out over the back. Just needed Ballard to take the mark. Second, third effort's not bad. And now gets the ball back to Hunt, who's trying to bring this ball back. It does a beautiful job of it. They had the space down there inside 50. And Taylor Hunt brought it back nicely. Good start for the Tigers in this second quarter. 3-4-22, playing 2-4-16. 3 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Just while Hilly finishes off his nut bar, there's some disposals after quarter time for the Blues. Russell 9, Wilson 8, White 8, Strawn 7, Palmer and Jacks with 6.
Obviously the mute button doesn't work anymore.
Didn't realise what the sound was for a while there. What's going on?
Set to go again in the middle. It's a goal the difference, and they both flew high in the ruck. Korchek and Marriage came down to Wilson, who did beautifully on all fours, bounced up, kicked it to half forward, coming out to meet the footy. Sumner, been ridden really closely. Silvestro's there to lend a hand. He got it back to Vlosten. He's going to go back across the ground, needs to hit the target here. Stavro bearing down on Miles, but Miles took it nicely. Shimmied and shaked and then got it away to Darley inside the 50 for Richmond. Can he find a man? He can. Ballard again. All on his own. And Jacob Ballard can line up from 35 out on a slight angle.
Some really loose checking to start the quarter from the Blues. Giving the Tigers a big advantage.
So Ballard.
Well, they are, and they're going deeper inside 50. That's where their forwards are setting up.
That was one of the things that Craig McRae talked about at quarter time. Instead of going one-on-one to a 25-metre contest, go further, go 50, 60. It's working for them.
Yep, Ballard makes no mistake. Gets his 9th of the year, his first this afternoon. And Richmond have started this second term in a very similar vein to what they did in the first. It's 4-4-28 to 2-4-16.
Yeah, and now just starting to get a bit of a run on. And we should repeat too, if you're just joining us for the first time, Hilly, not a real issue with the breeze today, not really favouring any particular end with any sort of particular potency?
No, it's not really. If you're going to say it was favouring an end, it might be Richmond's end this quarter, but it's very minor.
So back in the middle, 28 plays 16. 5 gone in this second term. Terrace is filling up nicely here at Swinburne Centre at Punt Road Oval. Now, Marriage had wonderful advantage there, but it was outside the circle, so we'll do it again. So the umpire to throw the ball up now. in the middle of the ground. Marriage there, but looks like Wilson's going to get to it first. Did well off to O'Shea, who kicks up the line. A bit of chopping of the arms going on. It's going to be a free kick going the Blues' way. How will they respond here? The kick across the ground. Jacks just leaves it for Palmer. Why not with the quarter and a bit that he's played so far? He's kicking the Kerr direction. Half volley was awkward. Floston swoops onto it for the Tigers at halfback. Handball over the top. Morris decided not to pick up the footy as he's being tackled. Silvestro goes back over the top to Batchelor right near the line. Good pressure from the Blues. Sumner tackles him over the line and will have it thrown in where the 50 in the boundary line intersects. Maybe about 5 metres around from that. It's the Blues looking to attack. 28 playing 16.
So, ball to be tossed back in, right in front of a very healthy crowd. Whistle going the way of Richmond. And it's Beasley who's going to come up with the ball. Or is it Marriage? And it is Big Ivan who's going to take the footy just inside his defensive 50. Asking for some movement here. Silvestro on the move. Korchek over the line and 50 metres will be gained.
He didn't move from that spot. Yes, he turned his body to sort of see which direction to go in, but
I think he heard a call from the umpire to move it on, but he didn't say play on.
Yeah, so move on and play on. Two different things.
Little ball from Marriage. That's a nice kick, and Miles on the mark. He takes it and flicks it over to Bathy, who takes it inside the 50, and he can take the shot on goal. Well, that was all too easy, really, wasn't it? From a nice attacking spot from the throw-in, and all of a sudden a free kick, a 50-metre penalty, and Bathy is lining up for goal. Just on the paint, I reckon. 45 degrees to cover, kicking to the train station end, and the train does get going past the goal line, and this is going to miss to the right-hand side. So, disappointing result for Bathy. 29 to 16, 7.5 gone in the second term.
As Jacks kicks to himself and then goes outside the 50. Caulfield getting in front of Mackay, puts it to the line and will have it thrown in. Yeah, it's good to see these curtain raiser games before AFL games just up the road. Get good patronage. It's a good bit of scheduling as the ball's thrown back in. And it's Soldo having to do the ruck work now for the Tigers. Ball into space. Palmer just hacking it out of there. Straight to the path of Silvestro. Now through hands, an opportunity for the Tigers. They go inside the 50. Jacks one grab, not the second. Stengel wrap him up in the tackle. He was 360. Here's an opportunity for Wood, who slams it on the boot from 35 and misses to the left-hand side. So they're peppering the scoreboard. 4-6-30, the Tigers, 2-4-16, the Blues. We've played 8.5 minutes in this second quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
And ball brought back in, little short, so on the burst. Now chance for Sheehan, who takes it and played it quite smartly under pressure there. Looking for Byrne, who just goes with a little dinky one around the corner. O'Shea tried to do the same for Wilson. Wilson fighting desperately at ground level, but the Tigers' numbers went out. Ballard handball over the top. Now a chance again for Sheehan, who's done really well this afternoon. Comes back inboard. And now Buckley quickly on. Strawn to Palmer. They've got runners forward. Armfield, one of them. He decides not to go that far. Fowler has to stop and prop. He wants to go back into the 50, but he's turned it over. You can hear Glenn Hill surprised by the option. Hunt takes the mark straight through the middle of the ground, and he's got Stengel, who's worked for him. Starting to become a bit more free-flowing now as Stengel just going to stop and prop and head sideways. Silvestro takes the mark, goes down the line. Ballard might have just had his legs taken out by the boot of White. Not deliberate. Umpire said, keep going, gentlemen. We'll toss it in. Not far from our commentary position here at the Swinburne Centre, and I'll toss it in right in front of Peter Mercado. He's very much enjoying the new sponsorship.
Well said. Well said, Leedsy.
Northern Blues are really moving the ball beautifully then. That kick inside was just littered with danger. There was Richmond players streaming back through the middle of the ground, and really costly decision there.
Well, look, I'll send it to the Vice-Chancellor tomorrow as the ball here into the path of Stavrou for the Blues, looking to get through Paulson. Oh, he got some runners. One of those is Buckley. Slices through the middle of the ground. His kick to no one in particular. Bounces in the pocket. In the path here of Beasley. He's got Kerr to contend with. Got some teammates. Batchelor's one of those who clears the area. Puts it straight towards the line. Dangerously. The umpire says throw it in. Can't be too careful with these things now. did well just to clear the space, and it'll be thrown in. Centre wing just into attack here for the Blues. They trail 30-16. 10.5 gone in this second quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live as the ball's tossed back in. Soldo had it all to himself. Goes straight back towards the line. Held up by Ballard. Did well in the end. And now the Tigers can get something going. Morris over the top to Hunt, who goes over the top again. They've got numbers here. A little short kick. They can raffle it off Chol. Oh, it was a little bit too short for him in the end. Breaks one tackle, can't break the second. He's dropped the footy, and there's the free kick. Nicely done by the Blues. As getting on the end of this is Paulson inside defensive 50.
So the Blues trying to work their way out of trouble here. Few options presenting. The most likely Curry decides he's got 3 to beat in the air. There's a little push out here, and it's going to go the way of Kerr, who did very well to make body position against the numbers. He's going to chip over the top, and it's been stolen. Good stuff from Arts. He's just come up a little ginger. Going to go back inboard. Needs to hit the dark target and does. Miles has got it. He's about at the halfway mark. Got a handball away to Darley, who's going to spear it inside the 50. Looking for Chol, and he got him. The extra reach of the big fella in front of White did the job. And he'll kick from directly in front with 51 to cover.
Hilly, Jake Art's in a bit of trouble on the boundary line here in the hands of the trainer.
He's just hobbling after that contest just here on the wing. So see if he can walk this one out, or it might be a little bit more serious. We'll just see.
So Chol, who has 9 goals coming into today from 9 games. His chance to get into double figures for the season and extend the lead. Currently at 14 points before he gets his left boot onto it. Got the distance easily. That flew through the goals. A magnificent finish. Richmond are doing it nicely all of a sudden. The Northern Blues 2-4-16. Richmond 5-6-36. 12.5 gone in the second term.
So it's they're just starting to get the break now, I reckon, Hilly.
Yeah, they're on top. They've started this quarter brilliantly. This first 10 minutes, 12 minutes, they've just dominated. So the Blues just need to cut down on these costly turnovers. They've moved the ball okay, got it to the wing, and then just making horrible mistakes going inside 50.
So a bit of a break now. 36 plays 16, 13 gone. So I guess a bit more of the pattern what we saw in the first 5 minutes. Richmond just dominating. Korchek going to work with Soldo. Split it between them. No one can get clear from the contest. Soldo again tried to get the handball out. Was it a throw? Let's see what the umpire's saying. It's going to be a Blues free kick to Wilson.
It was a good pass out of dummy half, you would say,
Yes,
Pete.
yes. Saw a couple of those at the Origin on Wednesday. So the ball come all the way back because Korchek just took off. He goes back to receive the ball, back to Wilson, who eventually was just corralled by Chol, who works it back to O'Shea. So O'Shea on centre wing will kick up towards half forward. A bit of holding going on. Still doing well to take the mark was Bolger. Now Kerr is the long option near the goal square. Bolger plays on, kicks high. Soldo's going to sit underneath it though. It's the tall target and takes the mark uncontested.
The Richmond Talls are just killing the Northern Blues at the moment. That's where they're really struggling.
Yep, as they try and clear the footy here. Broad will go further afield, and that's a good mark leading up. Garthwaite takes it. He is at half back. He'll spin around and now kick straight up the line. Almost uncontested for White. Went through his hands. It fell into the arms of Chol. Now they work it through the middle of the ground. Morris just pushed off his kick. It still goes inside 50. Now the clearing kick out for the Blues. Only lands at centre half back. Working there, Taylor Hunt managed to shoot the ball out. Only in the path of Armfields, who will take a free kick. Was dealt with after he released the footy. His kick to Buckley in the middle of the ground to Wilson. Got Buckley driving by. Oh, it was too slick for him in the end. Morris swoops on the footy as he works it back into the path here of the skipper, Darley, who kicks across the ground. Now they can build up. As this ball from Caulfield going inside the 50 into the path of Stengel. Got 2 to beat. Boundary line wins out. We'll have it thrown in.
Just touched on it a couple of minutes ago with the Blues. They're just getting the ball through the middle or to the wings and then just making horrendous errors. And that was another one there, just a skill error.
So chance for the Tigers to go again here. 36-16, 15 and a half gone in this second term. Right in front of Richmond Station. They'll ping it back in. Chol, front position. Couldn't get hands on the footy initially, but recovered really well. Was tackled, so he had to get it away. Townsend, little one around the corner. Little box kick. Looked for Bathy, couldn't take the mark. Still a chance here for Richmond. Morris, Hunt, handball out the back. Miles, snap. It's going to go close. It's to the line. Good stuff, Stengel. Oh, I thought it was, but the umpire ruled that he was going back with a flight, and it's almost impossible to do that without giving a free kick away. Buckley, handball to White, and the Blues have mopped up down the line. Sumner under all sorts of pressure, did really well. Got the kick away, and it's fisted over the line with some authority from Batchelor on Armfield, and we'll do it all again.
Dennis Armfield hasn't had a great impact on the game so far, and the Blues desperately need him to get a little bit more involved.
So just reverted a little bit back to that stop-start style of play as Korchek goes towards the line. Russell's got Townsend to contend with. He wins the day. Russell played it really well. Handball to Wilson. I reckon he's looking for the line. And he's going to be helped over. And that's where it finishes. So again, we haven't gone far in the last couple of minutes. They'll ping it back in. Punt road side of the ground. 20 points the margin as Soldo goes to work on Korchek. Miles in and underneath. Is he going to be picking up a free kick? He is for too high against Wilson, who's been on both sides of that ledger throughout his career. And Miles has the chance to get them going inside 50. Missed the target. Coming through to meet the footy. O'Shea to Russell. Did well to just hold on during the tackle. O'Shea lost the footy while he was tackled. Russell to Wilson. He's going to get a free kick himself. And the Blues have it at half back.
Well, he got there first. Broad bearing down on him. Defensive 50 for Wilson. The outer side as he kicks up the line. Mackay, good mark. Gee, he's got good hands. He was under all sorts of pressure from Batchelor, and he just stuck the jukes up and took it. So he kicks short to Buckley. Bit of height on that ball.
He's got no structure at full forward here, boys. Really need McKay probably to be the target.
There's a kick going long inside the 50. Oh, it's a bit of a lottery there, but Soldo again, he's just a tall target. And he takes the defensive mark again for the Tigers.
I'm sure Josh Fraser will be hoping they can somehow get to half time, only 20 points down, because he can probably rectify a few of the forward things that need to be rectified at the moment.
By even going down himself and having a go as Armfield kicks into the pocket, and that's out of bounds on the full. That's gone over the fence, so it'll be another turnover, and they are untidy going forward. And that's a big problem when the margin is 20 points. 18 and a half gone in this second quarter. 5-6-36 plays 2-4-16.
Long ball to near the wings. Soldo almost 2 marks in a row. Couldn't quite bring it to ground. The Blues come up with it through O'Shea. Fires out the handball. Glass McCasker got it back to White. Little stabbing ball. A little spike in the way, and then a secondary spike. We just need one more before we go over the net. Here's Chol trying to work at ground level. Did nicely. Now they've worked it to Bathy on the outer wing. This is better. On the end of it, Stengel. He can run away from the tacklers. Heads inside the 50. Uses it nicely. On the end of it, Hunt can run to the top of the goal square and makes no mistake. Richmond 6-6-42, kicking away from the Blues now. 2-4-16, 20 gone in the second term. That's his second of the afternoon.
They've just got better structure up forward, don't they, Hilly? When they get that run on, they're hard to stop.
They do, and they're just doing a little bit more on ball than what the Blues are at the moment. I think Sam Kerridge being an out today has really hurt the Blues on ball. Tigers are on top in that area. They're on top in the ruck, and they're just moving the ball better, and the scoreboard tells you the story, really, at the moment.
So 42 plays 16, 6-6-42, 2-4-16. Tigers in front. 19, almost 20 minutes gone in this second quarter. Ball back in the middle. Trying to get clear here is Ballard. He's held up in the tackle right inside the circles, and the umpire will come in and throw it up again. Half time, we're going to hear from Williamstown's Ace Cordy. Game 100 in the VFL yesterday. This ball here into the path of Marriage, who just kicks it forward, trying to get through his Arts, back out on the ground, lost a handle on it. White receives it from Armfield. His kick smothered. Buckley trying to track it to the line, trying to trap it, can't do so. And the umpire will come in and throw it in. 21 minutes gone in this second quarter. 4 goals on the board for Richmond, and the Northern Blues haven't scored in this quarter. So a few problems there as Palmer just trying to get them going, gets the handball out, does it nicely as the kick here from Gallucci into space. It's going to be turned over again. Caulfield gets around 1, around 2, sort of slalom style, and then dribbles a kick forward. That wasn't the intention. Marriage pick it up off his shoelaces. Still manages to work the ball out. Ellis going across the ground, turned it over and kicked it straight to Gallucci, who goes over the top. Now they can get some run. Buckley, he closes to 45. A little dribbling ball inside. And now they should get the goal. Sumner bringing it back, and they've got their first of the quarter. Well, the play opened up for them, and Sumner was the player who won the raffle at the end, and he kicks the goal. Badly needed one for the Blues. They moved to 3-4-22, and they're playing Richmond 6-6-42. Back to 20 points, 21 and 3/4 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Making hard work of it, Pete. That seemed extremely hard work once they were breaking through the middle of the ground to actually score the goal. They just kept making small mistakes on that passage of play, but got there in the end. Just a little update on the crowd. I've just turned around, and she's really full here in the terrace right behind me and around the boundary line. You'd be looking at 1,500 people here already.
At least.
As the Richmond side go inside the 50, Bathy with a little flick out the back for Stengel might make something of it here. Bathy just butted up nicely on the second effort, got the handball away, coming through. Now a chance for Richmond to answer straight away, and they have. Good stuff from Jack Rame. Neat finish. They get to him. He finished beautifully, but Bathy's work at centre half forward twice. First with the little knock back to Stengel and then to butter up, and he's just going across to his mate and letting him know, don't forget me in your celebration. 48-22 the end result, and that disheartens the Blues, doesn't it? A quick reply.
A lot of hands on hips.
Celebrate, get off the ground. That's what it is at the moment. Come straight to the bench. Celebrate, but not too much. Immediate reply. And so 23 minutes gone in the second quarter. As Marriage had to wait under the footy. Again, Tigers with first use of the footy through the middle. They're looking good. Is this kick going inside the 50? The pack flies. No one can take it. Jacks tackled. Sheehan lost a handle on it. Desperate times here for the Blues. Oh, and another opportunity. Arts working across to Ballard. He's wrapped up in the tackle. And the umpire will throw the ball up and encouraging signs.
Holding the ball, Pete.
Oh, it's holding the footy.
Yep.
I thought it might have been just locked into him. Hilly
tried to take the first tackler on with a fend off, and when you do that, the umpires tend to pay them against you.
Kick short, Russell. We'll go over the top to Gallucci. He's just outside defensive 50 near the boundary line. On the grandstand side of the grounds. Goes the high ball coming out Marriage to take the mark. Another turnover. He just loses his footing temporarily, Marriage. He's on centre wing. The grandstand side. He's just going to put the ball long inside the 50 and hope someone flies. It falls to the back. Gallucci's got to lay the tackle. Stengel there. Handball over the top. Now an opportunity. Morris in the pocket. He goes across the face of goal with a high ball, and coming in Arts to take the mark. Arts will line up, 25 out, maybe even 20 out, directly in front.
Hate to say this early in the game, boys, but this game's looking a little bit gone.
It's looking ominous, isn't it? Just at the control that the Tigers have through the middle. And then setting it up nicely, getting the numbers forward. And one of these players is Jake Arts. Kicked a goal in the opening term. Closes in, and he's missed. Give him a rap, and that's what happens. 7-7-49 plays 3-4-22. Tigers leading, 25 gone in this second quarter.
I'm going to have to delve deep into the excuse bag for that one. As O'Shea, deep in the back pocket. Going to kick over the man on the bark. Bit of a floater. Chol tries to get his hands on it. Couldn't. It's a battle of the big men. Oh, head clash. Stavro and Mackay. Not good. Mackay looks in more trouble than Stavro, who's back up and watching the footy. But there's a free kick. There's a whistle.
And there'll be a blood rule too, because Stavro is bleeding at the side of his eye.
And Mackay is
bleeding out of his mouth.
Oh, that wasn't good to see, but it is good to see both of them up on their own steam and walking towards the bench.
Well,
never good when you see that between any players, let alone friendly fire.
Has the umpire spotted Stavro here? Because he can't be allowed to stay on the ground with that. I'm tipping he's going to have to come off too. I don't think the umpire's seen him.
He's very, very smartly got out of the umpire's view.
Oh, he's right next to the boundary umpire though, who's looking the
just
other way.
Yeah, turned his head perfectly. There's a lesson to be
Yeah,
learned
I think the umpire's
for all
seen
the
it.
kids
No, he's got him now.
Well, it was good while it lasted.
Sorry, Marcus, but then he's coming off as well. I think that one was on the more obvious scale. He may not actually, to be fair, he may not actually have realised that he was bleeding so profusely, but now the towels come on. I think he's well aware of the situation. And the thing is, Hilly, he's going to come down and sit next to Mackay. I think there might be a sorry mate somewhere in here.
Harry Mackay's in a bit of trouble, boys. Quite a big gash to the lip, I think.
This is Stavro who's going to get cleaned up just near the eye. So
It looked fierce, didn't it?
Did well. It was front on contact, friendly fire.
Not good. We wish them all the best. Just to try and get back on the ground. Strawn's going to get this to half forward. Oh, Chol, nice hands. Very sticky fingers for the big fella. And he's got it at half back. Little left footer. Finds Beasley, who can just pedal across half back. Stops. Heads back the other way to the punt road wing, and he's set it up nicely for Townsend, who takes the mark. Plays on quickly for Richmond, who are on the burst. Wants to get something out of Ellis. Sold a bit of candy. Little left foot kick, going to turn it over. Palmer couldn't hold on to it in the fingertips. Jacks comes in. He's well tackled by Morris, and the umpire will take control at half forward for Richmond. 49-22 as we approach half time. One more here. Would do all sorts of damage to the Blues psyche as Townsend lays a good tackle.
How are the two boys doing here for the Blues, Hilly?
Harry Mackay is not looking the best, you would say, at the moment, whereas Stavro's getting cleaned up. It's going to take a bit of work to get both of these boys back out there. I can't see that happening before half-time.
Bolger going back with a flight. He's going to have to concede that Broad had more of it, and he takes the mark, defensive side of centre wing. So Richmond is trying to work their way through here. A little ball is okay for Darley. He's got Silvestro in the middle. He ignores that. On the bounce for Miles, who picks it up, stops, and then wheels around onto his right boot. Heads to half forward. Some space for Arts. He heads to the pocket, and Batchelor's on the end of it. Takes the mark. He'll take some kicking. He's outside the arc, only 3 metres in from the boundary line. Now he's being brought back around, and he's actually going to start his run up from outside the line.
Really tough kick from there. Left footer. Might be better served to pop this one up. They've been dominating the marking contests.
Hasn't kicked a goal so far in season 2017, Jake. 49-22 before the kick. 29 gone in the second term. What can Batchelor muster from here? It's a good effort. It's a good-looking kick. That is a magnificent way to get on the board for season 2017 for Jake Batchelor. His first of the afternoon, his first of the year, and Richmond are all of a sudden doing it very, very nicely. We're approaching half-time, and that margin is looking difficult to reel in. 8-7-55 to 3-4-22, 29 and a half gone.
Gee, that was just beautiful. We were watching that one drift back beautifully, Hilly.
Sensational kick. He certainly allowed for that breeze coming off the top of the grandstand there, and didn't hang it too far out, because that's often the common mistake from kicking from that side of the ground. Harry Mackay just straight up into the rooms too, boys, to get that mouth worked on. He's got quite a large gash in the lip area.
Yep, won't be seeing him before half-time, as you said, Hilly, as Leedsy spots someone he knows in the crowd, as Wilson dealt with in the centre circles. Will take the free kick from the ruck contest. Now, which way is he going to go? He decides to go out of side, deep inside the 50. Korchek. Oh, Kerr flying from behind. Palmer, though, bounces off one, bounces off two. Just needs to steady and bring the ball back. And he hits the post. Oh, there was another opportunity for the Blues. 3-5-23, playing 8-7-55. Tigers leading, 30 and a half gone. Going to be a slightly longer second quarter.
2 behinds to Reece Palmer this afternoon. I've got that one through. The Tigers are going to bring it back in. Long ball looking for Ballard. Batcher at the back. Might have been taken without the footy. Umpire allows it to go on. Wilson is in the box seat, waiting down. Got it to Sumner. Sitting underneath it, Palmer. Vlosten had half a chance. Silvestro's there at ground level. Half time. A really impressive second term from Richmond. Sees them in a great position. 8-7-55 to the Northern Blues. 3-5-23.
Yep, they put on 6 goals. 6 goals, 3 in that quarter, Richmond. And the Northern Blues just the 1 goal, 1. So they've got a pretty handy advantage at half-time, the Tigers. They put the foot down and pretty much controlled the quarter from start to finish. The goal kickers to half-time. 2 goals to Taylor Hunt and singles to Batchelor, Graham, Chol, Stengel, Ballard and Arts. And for the Northern Blues, the 3 goal kickers, Kerr, Sumner and Korchek. As the Blues get into a bit of a huddle and then slowly make their way off the ground, the Tigers be pretty happy. The Tiger fans pretty happy in the grandstands as well. And plenty to look forward to in this second half. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to hear from Ace Cordy, celebrated game number 100 yesterday for Williamstown from VFL Rewind. We're going to hear from him. On the other side of this, here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
I'm a digital radio.
For the Blues today, but let's get started in this third quarter, the second half. 8-7-55 Richmond, the Northern Blues 3-5-23.
And it's going to be Marich against Korchek, and Korchek got this first one down. Palmer with first hands on it for the Blues. Got it away to Gallucci. He goes across the middle of circles and finds his man on the outer side, Armfield, inside the 50. Korchek made space inside the 50 and he takes the mark. That's a nice start for the Blues.
That was a really good start from the Blues. Won the hit out, Korchek, and then moved forward to get into a dangerous position forward of the ball. Very good play.
Now the tough part, Hilly, has won today. Took
From
the
pretty much the same spot.
Yeah, let's hope it's not the pitching wedge.
Yeah, I think he'll at least need the 9-iron from this far out.
Leave the Sandy in the bag.
What can he manage? He bounces in. It's a nice high kick again. This one's away to the left and it's one behind. 24-55, a minute into the third term on Peter Jackson VFL Live. We're at the Swinburne Centre this afternoon. It's the Tigers and the Blues.
Yeah, ching for me as the ball here. Darley kicks to himself, goes long outside the 50. Chol flies along with Marich. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in. You can tell with Korchek, Hilly, that it's a player who's learnt the game later on. It's a very pronounced sort of kick, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. It's a long way down. He's a 208-centimetre giant, so
He is.
it's a long way from hand to foot.
So the ball tossed back in. As it's Marich leading in the race. Ball right near the boundary line. Another stalemate. The umpire will come in again. And it's overcast conditions. And is there a free kick that's been plucked out? There has. It will go the way of Miles to take it. Still inside defensive 50 for the Tigers. He'll go short and up the line, and that's okay. Mark being paid to Townsend. He's got to get around Korchek. He does. Goes back to Miles, being corralled by Wilson. So Miles kicks into the middle of the ground. Silvestro, strong mark. Does well. They're building up again here. The Tigers as Darley works his way to Morris. Inside the centre square, attacking side. His kick inside 50. Chol, great pluck. Great mark. And he will line up and have a shot from 40 out. No real angle to speak of. Good hands out in front.
Couple of big men doing some damage early. It's good to see the crowd just come to life a bit, don't they, when the big fellas get their hands on it inside the 50.
So this is going to make things really tough for the Blues, even though it is early stages in this the second quarter as the kick comes in. Chol, couple of steps, misses. Well, it just grazed the post. 8-8-56, plays 3-6-24. More grey clouds circling here at Punt Road Oval.
Nervous times for Peter Mercado and the technicians here at Punt Road Oval, but away goes Buckley. Long ball inside the 50. There's no one to kick to. Sumner's got 3 to beat here. He's tracking the footy really hard, but in the end, Vloston was there with enough time to just clean up and calmly use his right boot, looking for Silvestro over his head. Turnover on for the Blues. Gallucci comes up with it, snaps around the corner. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Very neat work. Made the most of a slight error, and the Blues have a 2-goal turnaround in 30 seconds.
Oh, well, Chol with the opportunity down one end of the ground, making them pay. One of the few times they've done that today, Hilly.
Yes, certainly, and obviously Buckley had nobody to kick to forward of the ball then, but had to kick being chased heavily and just pumped it 60 metres inside forward 50. It was really just the pressure chase from the Blues that ended up resulting in the goal. I think I can report that Harry Mackay might be coming back onto the ground in about 5 or so minutes. I see they just run a jumper down into the room. So.
Okay, make sure you give us that jumper change as the ball back in the middle. Again, Korchek getting the tap down. Ballard trying to pick it up. He's wrapped up in the tackle, going nowhere. And the umpire will call for a throw up. Russell there, Palmer there for the Blues. Just surrounding Ballard as the ball's tossed back up. Well, it was a good effort from Marriage, but he fell over at the crucial moment. Townsend got it, squirted it out to Broad, who goes with a little ball chipping, not great. So his teammate into all sorts of trouble. In the end, Hunt picked it up, got it from Miles. He was dispossessed. Working here, Armfield trying to paddle it in front of him. Eventually lost a handle on it. It spills free. It's a holding the ball free kick, so White goes to LeBoy, who fumbles, then tries to go off the ground and kicked it straight into Flostone. Ball going backwards into the centre square. No one can take clean possession. Flostone there had his pocket picked by Strawn, but he lost a handle on it too. Caulfield trying to come through. Now Flostone again gets the handball over the top. Silvestro's going to be tackled immediately as he picked up the ball. He's ridden into the turf by Byrne, and the umpire said, well, maybe that was just a little bit too high, a little bit untidy. And so, Silvestro should take the free kick. He will. As his kicking across the ground. Marriage up the line is okay to half forwards. And Jack Graham has it. Too far out to score. He's 60 from goal. The kick to the top of the goal square. Falls to the back. The fist comes in. Miles picks it up. Dribbling footy. Goal. Bad mistake from Glass McCasker. Just to fist the ball into a dangerous position. And nicely done, Anthony Miles, with his first of the day. And there's the response for the Tigers, just to keep control of this one. The margin 32, 9-8-62, playing 4-6-30. 6 minutes gone in the third quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Again, another mistake, another goal to the Tigers. The Northern Blues just making plenty of them today down back, and it certainly killed them on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was just instead of taking the mark and going back, the fist came in and put it straight down the throat of Miles and made no mistake.
Yeah, he's too good a player to get that opportunity, isn't he, Miles? And we're back in the middle. Korchek, this time Soldo got it down. And it is that man, Miles, who's brilliantly tackled. That was good stuff from Russell, who's had a very effective game this afternoon. And the umpire will come in and toss it up again. 62-30. The Blues need to get a roll on here. The Tigers just starting to build back into 2017 after losing 4 out of 5 earlier in the year. Miles is there, got the handball away to Townsend, too high. It'll be a Richmond free kick in the middle.
Yeah, that's his 4th free kick, I'd say, today from 2 high tackles.
Little ball is okay for Vloston, who's working his way into it nicely. Going to kick a long ball inside the 50. Wants a big fly at the back from Stengel over the top of Korchek. Did well not to give the free kick away. Jacks comes out to meet the footy. Toe pokes it towards the line, and he is okay.
Thrown in.
Oh, there might have been some friendly advice from the locals here. Now over the fence.
Very pro-Richmond crowd too, boys. Lots of Richmond scarves around.
Warm up to head across the way. And
Carlton supporters would never come to Punt Road.
No.
The boys go to work this afternoon. If you've just joined us, Markov and also Kerridge not playing this afternoon, named as emergencies in the AFL sides. There's a free kick on play here. Going to go the way of the Blues. So Palmer has the footy in his defensive 50. Going to look for something down the line. There's not much happening. He points to the outer side. That's where he ends up going. Did he telegraph it? Yes, but that's okay because Glass McCasker was across it. He took the mark, got it away to O'Shea. Little undergrounder, asked a bit and got a good response from Sheen. Got the handball away to Glass McCasker who chased the footy. Now the turnover's likely. LeBoy has to go to work. He's got a couple to beat. Did well to hold it up and that'll do. 50-50, not a bad result there. They'll toss it up. Slightly attacking side of centre wing for the Tigers. They lead 62-30 at the 8.5 minute mark of the third term.
So ball tossed back up. Wilson trying to run onto it. Strawn picked it up though, did well. Russell back to Wilson in close quarters, just threw it on the boot and turns it over, and Derek Smith takes the mark. He kicks across the ground. Now they've got some run here as Townsend with some opportunities. Batchelor kicking inside the 50. It'll Lux a fortune though. Hunt worked it to Morris, went with a little underground ball. Wasn't the best option. Has to go back in again and get the footy. Plenty of Tiger numbers around this ball. Miles, who just clears the space and does it beautifully. Tigers well on top. It looks like Garthwaite who's taken the mark. And will line up and have a shot on the 45 from 45. And that's just experience.
Yeah, he absorbed the tackle, didn't he? Just absorbed the pressure coming to him, made sure he got the ball.
So, an opportunity to really extend this margin. As Garthwaite comes in, steps inside the 50, kick on the way, is across the face. It's another behind, added to the total. 9-9-63, playing 4-6-30. As we're about to cross the 10-minute mark of the third quarter.
Oh, ball back in and it's okay. Works out fortuitously. Strawn on the end of it. Got the handball away. Now Byrne can come through the middle. That's okay. Found Armfield. He's got runners on this near broadcast side. And he's got one on him. McCready takes the mark. Has a bounce. Oh, Morris has done his hamstring.
Oh, dear.
It's not good to see.
Yep.
Russell over the top for the Blues, going back inside the 50 broad with courage. Couldn't quite hold onto it in the fingertips. We'll get down to Hilly in a moment. Chance for the Blues to try and break away. Armfield had it, lost it. Doesn't matter. Free kick on play. And it'll be Richmond through Beasley. Hilly?
Knew it as soon as he did it, Hilly.
He knew it, and
everyone knew it in the crowd too.
He's not moving too well, so he's just going to try and walk on the sidelines, I think, for a moment, but it certainly looks like he's pinged the hamstring.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Garthwaite handballs over the top, looking there for Smith, who took one high and is going to take the advantage as well as he goes for a run up towards centre wing. His kick up the line. Oh, almost a big fly there. Wood couldn't quite bring it down. Jack's under all sorts of pressure. Had to release the footy near the boundary line. It goes over, and the umpire will say, throw it in. Just into attack here for the Blues.
Morris just straight into the rooms.
In fact, there might be a bit of a free kick. There's some push and shove going on. I think it's Miles not liking the attention, and they're all getting involved now. Garthwaite just trying to clear the space. It's going to be a free kick going the Tigers' way. So, a bit of undisciplined play. There was a bit of push and shove going on. And so it'll be a Tigers free kick. And maybe a report too. Just looking at the umpire here, he went over to both players, so maybe it might be worth asking the question three-quarter time whether there's a report. As the kick going inside 50, Chol flew. It falls to the back, Korchek keeping it in just inside the boundary line. And going on the outside of the boot is White, and that didn't time it at all as that disappears over the fence and onto Punt Road, out of bounds on the full. So there might have been a report there, Hilly.
I'll see if I can check that one at three-quarter time. Certainly there was words had between both players that were in the incident and the umpire, so there was a good chance might have been a booking.
Deep into the pocket for Richmond, fisted over the line by McCready, and they'll toss it in.
Shall we go around the grounds? Because
Sure.
there's a match at Simmons Stadium which has been underway for a good half hour or so. And I'll get those scores to you shortly.
It is a long way away, in fairness. It takes a while to get down the
5-point
highway.
lead to the Cats. 2 straight 12 playing 1-1-7. 30 minutes gone opening term.
Ball in the pocket here for Richmond. Ballard trying to work his way through. Woods there. Stuck his head over it. He's well tackled by Russell. And we're going nowhere.
Northern Blues have definitely lifted their tackling intensity, but just can't seem to clear the ball out of these close encounter
Korchek
stoppages.
won it down. Stengel wanted the free kick. White wanted the footy. Ballard wanted White, and they go over the line. They'll toss it in.
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah, hard to argue. Hard to argue with. As the ball will be tossed back in. Buses travel past on Punt Road. Scholl goes to work. Little one out the back, nicely done. Can Stengel make the most of it? He was well ridden in the tackle, but good enough to get the handball away. Ballard came to Caulfield. Long shot from 45, just going to come up short. Ellis flies, Ellis marks. Ellis is not going to play on. He's just going to go back and soak this up for a moment before he kicks the goal from point blank range.
Oh, it just sat up, didn't it? It was a great kick.
So he shouldn't miss. Directly in front. Richmond surge on. That was a magnificent effort in the air. And Richmond push on to 10-9-69. Northern Blues 4-6-30. That's his first to the afternoon.
Well, it was in the Gary Rowan spot, I would say,
Yes.
Hilly, from Friday night. Directly in front, top of the goal square. Can't miss from there. Although we did see it last year, didn't we, Hilly? Down at Simmons Stadium.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. If you just take your eyes off the prize for a moment, you can be in all sorts of trouble.
That's right.
Meanwhile, though, tell you what, it's the Northern Blues that are in trouble here because it's 10-9-69 playing 4-6-30, 14 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter. And the Tigers putting the foot down, although Paulson trying to carve his way through, was just held up at the crucial moment, cop one high, and he'll take a free kick. Wants to give it off to Buckley, just needed to get it in a split second earlier. Buckley up to the challenge, though. He kicks high into the pocket. Foston, well, he was underneath it, couldn't take the mark. Now he's set upon. Ball right near the line, should go over. No, it's going to be kept in by Beasley. He's got some support on that side, and that's where he goes. The kick long outside the 50. He's going to come straight back in again. Little short ball from O'Shea. Kicked it into the Tigers player in front of him. Now they've turned it over as Arts can go for a run up centre wing. He kicks in the middle of the ground. Silvestro's there. He's got two alongside who are driving by. Ignores them. Decides to kick longer and deeper. Stengel takes the mark. Excellent movement of the footy by the Tigers. And Stengel sitting underneath it had two Blues to beat. He was more than up to the challenge and he'll kick from 35 outs.
He's had a great game, hasn't he, Leedsy?
I'd be pretty happy that the option wasn't given to take the handball too. Got it into him quickly, gave him every chance. And so often the case, the forwards with a quick ball, they're in the right position.
So in he comes. Tyson Stengel kicked a goal in the opening quarter. And he's just pushed it across the face again. 10-10-70, plays 4-6-30. Even 40-point margin in this third quarter. We've played 16 minutes as the ball comes out. Oh, getting caught up there was Bolger. It could be a turnover again. Silvestro swoops on the footy. Can he bring it back around? No. His shots from 45 missing. Gone the other way. So 10-11-71. They add to the total, so the margin is now 41 points as the scoreboard's turned off.
Caulfield at the back did well to got it down with the fist to Ellis, who just swept the handball across the field. Broad on the end of it, steers this to half forward out the back. Miles has just about done it all, hasn't he? He's got it a metre in from the boundary. He's going to chip this into the run, and Marich is going to take the mark. He turns around quickly, snaps, goals. It's starting to become enjoyable for the Tigers now. Not sure what the score is. I think it's about 47 points. The Tigers are doing it nicely, though.
Just blowing the scoreboard up.
It was that good a goal. Gee, they got to Marriage, didn't they, with some celebration. He's a popular figure here.
The goal sign came up.
That's
Signalled it was a goal, but we don't actually know what it is.
That's his first goal of the year. I reckon it's 47 points the margin now. And Hilly, you got some news?
77 plays 30.
Yes, just some news. Harry Mackay's just emerged from the room, so he does still have some blood on his lips, so this will be interesting.
And he's wearing number 15 for those playing at home. More importantly, 77.
He's just doing a few stretches.
77 plays 30.
He'll certainly be back out there soon.
Ball back in the middle. Korchek and Marriage getting the tap down, but here comes Paulson for the Blues. Handball's out to Strawn, who fumbles for a moment. Tries to get around Arts. The kick is good up to centre wing and finds Wilson, who goes back to Paulson, who tries to cut inboard. He's brought down in the tackle. And they are well on top at the moment here, the Tigers. As the ball come back in, it's Graham who kicks up here for Chol. Flew high. Jack's there with him. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in just into attack for the Tigers. And looking at the crowd here, as you mentioned, a couple of grand, you reckon, maybe, Hilly. If they get the win here, they will be marching onto the MCG.
The crowd has really swelled even since half time. It's absolutely chockers here in the grandstand behind me.
There's Marriage trying to get through. Miles there as well. Through sets of hands into the path here of Ballard, who's got some space. Now finds Arts, who's on 50. He kicks across the ground. Silvestro, a little bit too far for him. Plenty of Blues numbers here, but they might muck it up. LeBoy just handballs into space. O'Shea trying to shepherd for no one in particular. So Hunt picked it up, goes around the body up to the top of the goal square. Garthwaite with 2 to beat. The fist comes in from Strawn, and it's through for a rush behind. Let me guess, 78 plays 30?
Yep.
Got it.
Where Richmond are really on top today is the numbers of the ball. The Blues are just completely getting outplayed around the ball in terms of numbers, and the Tigers have just used that extra number each occasion to get the ball away from the stoppage.
Ballard's got to go to work on McCready here. They both half shuffle over the line.
So 4-6-30, the Blues. That one I can work out, but I kind of lost track of the other ones. So they've polled on the goals here. Tigers have kicked 3 goals in the quarter.
Marriage got it down, couldn't find a teammate. We're at half back for the Tigers. There's a whistle on play. It's going to be a Northern Blues ball. Little chip over the top, hoping for and getting an effort from Mackay. Is back on the ground, swings around on his left boot, over the head there of Broad and Armfield, who goes back and lays a good tackle. Handball back inboard to Stavro in the 14, I suspect. It came to Bolger, back to Mackay. They've worked it to half forward, the Blues now. Can they make the decisive movement? Sumner, well tackled, good stuff. Smith out the back, chance for Wilson, had a couple to beat. They go to ground. Ballard picks up the footy, wanted the line, escorted over by Daly, who just did nicely to shimmy and shake and then kick down the line. Little one inboard, beautifully played. And now the Tigers with all the space in the world on the wing. Arts can have a bounce. He can have another if he wants. Elects to kick at half forward, coming up to meet the footy. Now a chance for Garthwaite deep in the pocket. Can he kick a goal? He's going to go right to the line. Chol couldn't take it first time. Didn't take it second. Toe poked it third. That's his second of the afternoon. Graham involved in that play on the wing as well. And it's becoming all too easy for Richmond now. They are currently 84 to 4-6-30. It's a significant margin, and Richmond look like they're enjoying themselves on and off the field.
Yeah, let the good times roll. So exciting around here. The scoreboard's blown up. All right, so let's see if they can just continue it on now, because percentage will be so crucial when we've got that logjam right in the middle of the ladder. Percentage will come into play big time. Despite
having 2 less wins than the Northern Blues, their percentage was only separated by 5 percentage points coming into today. They're doing it no damage now, Richmond.
As O'Shea in the middle of the ground kicks inside 50 into the path here of Dennis. And he's got too much traffic coming the other way. Nice work there from Batchelor. He tried to get the handball receive again and then fumbled at the crucial moment and gave away a free kick. Because Blues' best player today, Reece Palmer's got it. Edge of the square, attacking side for the Northern Blues. He kicks a high ball into the pockets. Looking for some flyers. Townsend stayed down, just punches it towards the line. That's where it goes on the station side. Notice that side of the station's open for you, Hilly, for your train trip home.
Looking forward to that. Wish it was open at around about 10:55 this morning.
Yeah, 10:55, not open. Now is open. No problems. 22 and a half gone, 12-12, 84 plays 4-6-30. Scoreboard back up and running. That's fantastic to see. It is if you're a Tiger supporter, as Paulson swoops on this ball, tries to keep it in, can't do so. and just proceeded to play on and dribble to kick. He actually kicked the goal in the end. May not have done so if he knew that there was a bit of pressure and play was still going on. So we have to bring the ball all the way back, closer to the 50 for the Northern Blues, where the 50 and the boundary line intersect. 23 minutes gone. It's been a 4-goal-to-1 quarter in favour of the Tigers. Korchek and Soldo. Soldo getting front position. Now Taylor Hunt paddling in front of him. He eventually kicked off the ground and picked out Simon White all on his own on centre wing outer side. Going backwards, Jacks. He'll go across the ground. Still in the middle here. Finds Buckley. Stagnant for the Blues as they look to go forwards. That kick under a bit of pressure, but Gallucci up to the challenge. He'll go back to O'Shea. He'll just want to settle things down. Works here with Reece Palmer. It's a 20-metre kick. We're back where we started. And will he get 50 metres? Nope, the Tigers defender just called to stay on the mark. Meanwhile, Palmer will decide to go short. That's okay. Now, it's whether they can build from here. That's the question. It's just going to be short kick sort of stuff. Paulson takes it. He kicks across the ground. This is where the potential danger comes in. And Buckley was smashed that time. Arts picked it up. He was 360, still managed to get the kick away. Hunt takes a bounce. He runs to half forward. Now kicks inside the 50. Chol caught at the back. Stengel there as well. Dangerous times for Jacks. He did well in the end. Stavrou gets the handball out. The Blues under all sorts of pressure. Just needs to release and does. As Paulson clears the 50. Trying to find the boundary line. That'll be his friend. And that will be thrown in. Gee, they were under pressure though, the Blues. 12-12-84 Richmond, 4-6-30 the Blues. 25 gone in this third quarter. The Swinburne Centre, Punt Road Oval.
Smack bang centre wing. Gee, things have turned for the Blues. They were 28 points up against Werribee last week and looking like they were rolling along beautifully. 6 quarters later, and they're going to find themselves in real trouble. Little handball over the top. This is good stuff from Townsend. Little ball to half forward. Yep, Bathy on the lead. That's nicely taken. 60 metres from home. Little ball inside. That's okay. Townsend can kick the footy. He's going to go across the face. Oh, beautiful ball.
Don't think it matters. I think it's 50 metres.
Oh.
I think it is,
It's
actually.
50 metres. It's going to be a fitty. Doesn't matter in the end because the mark was taken, but still.
It matters to Ryan Garthwaite, who's kicked 2
He's gonna miss
behinds
out on a
today
goal
and
here.
hasn't kicked one for the year. He would have liked to have had a shot, I reckon.
Particularly from the distance he was, about 25 out.
Townsend has 8 to his name this season. Chance for his 9th. As Richmond just march away here. This is going to be a very nice start to their afternoon. He's literally point blank range. And that'll do. Richmond 13-12-90. The Northern Blues 4-6-30. 27 gone in this third term.
And around the grounds, we'll be into the second quarter. Freo by 7, 3-2-20 playing 2-1-13 down at Simmons Stadium. And North Ballarat and Geelong getting underway in about 6 minutes' time in the final game of round 10 of the Peter Jackson VFL. Well, that's all ahead of them now, isn't it?
Yeah,
10 goals.
I'm a little bit shocked. I've got to say, I thought the Northern Blues would be very much up for today after coughing up that lead last week. And they've shown such good form earlier in the year.
As Marriage flies high in the ruck contest with Korchek, trying to bring it down. Stavrou trying to bullock his way through, can't do so, and the umpire will throw it up.
They're just in disarray. They've just lost all confidence at the moment, even just before that centre bounce. They had about 9 in the back half. They didn't know who was matching up on who.
Maybe catching up with Josh Fraser at three-quarter time as the Tigers again going forward. Nice little half volley there from Garthwaite. Trying to go on the outside of the boot. Puts it inside the 50. Dangerous again here for the Blues. I think they might be pushing the back. And there is. The free kick will go the Blues' way. And can they release the footy? As Byrne just goes short to Palmer. And why wouldn't you? Been the best player for the Blues today. This ball with Gallucci. There's whistles going everywhere. Gallucci will just go short to Byrne again. Still haven't exited the 50. They will now with this kick in, looking for Mackay, who had 3 Tigers to beat, and they crunch one another. The kick going over the top to O'Shea on centre wing in front of our commentary position. Might be an overly long quarter, so they'll need to get a move on. There's Palmer just racking up the stats. Again, not sure who to go to. Goes across the ground to Jacks. Needs to kick to someone up the ground. Can't find anyone. Options drying up. Palmer is the short option. That's honoured. Here calls a race everywhere. Oh, he's turned it over. The most epic of fashion. Silvestro works it across to Graham, who kicks inside the 50, although it's going to be turned over again. Sheehan, though, didn't pick it up cleanly. Paddling in front of him. Garthwaite there. Sheehan and Garthwaite. It's near the boundary line. The boundary line will win. And we'll have it thrown in where the 50 and the boundary line intersected. You just had the feeling that that was going to happen. Gee, another goal here. 66 points into the final change. And you almost have it as 0 chance the Blues can get back. You just, with the sort of the previous sort of form of the AFL team, can never quite write off a team playing here at Punt Road. As Korchek trying to put that as sensibly as possible. Marish tried to go out of mid-air. He made a bit of a hash of that, as Beasley. It was inventive. We'll give him that. As the kick going up towards it, centre half forward. And the mark's being taken by Bathy, who may be within range. What's the breeze doing, Hilly?
Oh, he will be now.
Oh, he is now. He's getting 50. Wow. He's getting 50. Kieran Byrne on the mark, just throws his hands up. So Ryan Bathy, well, don't have to worry about the breeze now because he'll have it from pretty much on the goal line.
He should make the distance, but yeah, Byrne's not sure what the 50's for, but he did look to be standing still on the mark to my eye. I'm sort of side onto him. He didn't look to be creeping the mark, so... As
we cross the 30-minute mark of the third term, 2 steps, Bathy goes bang.
I'm not sure if he's going to bother for an explanation.
Well, it's in the book
foregone
now.
Conclusion this game today.
First goal for Ryan Bathy, and the margin, 66 points. Closing in on three-quarter time. 14-12-96, playing 4-6-30. And, well, from being a 50-50 chance to a dead certainty. A couple of crucial 50-metre penalties here against the Blues. And the Tigers
third one for
benefiting.
Richmond can put a team away too. Once they're up and going. They have the record this year for the biggest win of 2017, and now they're coming away from the middle again. Miles has won it beautifully on. Got it to Ellis, who has it on the wing. Little kick over the top. Wants a mark from Broad. Mackay did well not get to give the free kick away, but in the end, Broad did well to hang on to the footy too. So the Tigers have it at half forward. Little ball in Broad. Townsend's just kept on racking up the numbers. He's 60 from home. He's going to head to the pocket. Coming out to meet it. Oh, that's nice on the lead from Stengel.
That's impressive.
Nice kick. Good, strong lead, though, wasn't it? Never gave his defender any chance. And he'll kick from 2 metres in from the boundary with 40 to cover.
Well, it's that, coming out to meet the footy, but it's also taking the mark as well. Excellent delivery of the footy. And as you say, good protection of the space from Stengel. Had front position, did a good job of it.
Has 1-2 to his name. Be nice to just level that up. His kick is pretty good, just hits the post.
Gee, another one off the post.
Three-quarter time. Good news, Richmond fans. They're going to come away with a big win here. It's all about enjoyment in the last term. 14-13, 97 to the Northern Blues. 4-6-30 at three-quarter time.
Look at the
there
bench
he is.
at the moment.
Just on
He's just
cue.
actually at cue. He's just walking out.
Just coming out now. He's in the tracksuit, and his day's obviously done. Very disappointing for him because he has been playing really well at this level.
Horrible run at it, hasn't he? In recent times, leads as we go away in the final quarter.
And it's going to be Richmond who come away with it first. A half forward, a chance for Arts. Had it fisted away. That was neat stuff by Strawn, who goes back and gets it. Little kick around the corner, going to cough it up. Richmond's footy. Oh, not paid the mark. That was a little bit unlucky for Jack Graham. Now the ball will be won at half forward. Big tackle from Buckley on Townsend. Umpire said a little rough. Might have slung him.
Disposal count for the Northern Blues to three-quarter time. Palmer with 20, O'Shea 19, White, Russell, Wilson 18.
Big ball inside the 50. Was there a mark? No, came to ground. Soldo put his big frame over it, as did Korchek. The big men went to work on each other, but the little men came up with a footy. Russell heads to the outer side, wants the boundary line. Batchelor's there, as is Sumner. There's a little appeal. Wasn't all that convincing. Makes it hard for the umpire to give it out. And they'll toss it back in, 52 around. In front of Richmond Station. Good day for Tiger fans so far. 14-13, 97 to 4-6-30. 1 minute into the final term, and might be some real damage done in the last 30 minutes of footy. Soldo goes to work on Korchek. Front position, White had a hand on it, moved towards the line by Sumner and also Townsend, and they'll toss it in again.
No late change for the Tigers up the road.
So Markov was held over, but not required.
And both sides will line up as selected today.
So Ditto Kerridge, good news for Blues fans. He'll be ready to go with a rest for next week. Doesn't help them much today, it must be said, as this ball is to be won at half forward. It would have been very handy, Hilly.
Oh, he's certainly been missed today. They've been killed on ball. And that's obviously his bread and butter. You know, you can see him having 25, 30 touches on ball and helping in that area of the game, and they've really, really missed that today.
Ellis kicked for Soldo, and he takes the mark, 52 out from home.
Around the grounds, Freo 7-2-44, leading the Cats 2-4-16, 28-point margin at Simmons Stadium. We'll get an updated score from North Ballarat shortly as well.
So it looks like Soldo might just be having a crack here. But it takes some kicking. He's 55 out. He's going to give it everything he's got. He drags it left. It's out of bounds on the full. He'll say he had the distance when it crossed the line. The umpire will say it's going to Strawn. Blues ball, back pocket. Going to play on quickly, looking for something, and he's asked a bit of McCready here. He's got some company in Broad who won the footy. McCready lays a good tackle, ball spilled free. Yep, incorrect disposal, and it'll be a Blues ball at half back.
Well done, Harry. Defensive 50. He decides to go across the grounds. It's not a bad option because he's got some numbers out there. Stavru, who continues just to go wide up, and now they'll come back in board. Gallucci, need to take a slips catch, couldn't do so. Now the turnover, Graham is there. They work into the middle of the ground, working here Townsend, the ball inside 50, and they're just lining up. Arts is one of those. He goes further afield, and setting up Broad, who will line up and have a shot pretty much directly in front from 40 out.
It's a good share, Hilly. He could have just gone back and had the shot, but straight away his eyes darted to what was ahead of him.
Yeah, really, really good share, Leedsy, and pretty reliable kicks. I'd say they can almost pencil this one in.
So Ben Hill doing his best to put the moz on Nathan Broad as he steps inside now. The kick on the way.
Got him.
Guess what?
Got him.
You picked him off beautifully. He's missed to the left-hand side. I think we're going to have to place a ban on that. 14-14, 98, playing 4-6-30. The ball to come back. There are a few footies on the ground. 4 minutes gone, final term.
O'Shea's just having his pick of the pills as we speak, and he's going to kick to himself and bring it out to our commentary side. Long ball underneath it. Hunt went to fly, couldn't get a fist in at ground level. Silvestro, beautiful tackle, brought to ground, allowed to go on. Turnover here for Broad. Buckley's got him. Buckley won the footy. Good desperate stuff, good intensity. That's what Josh Fraser was after at three-quarter time. And Buckley comes up with the footy. Never any question on his effort. He's got it at half back. He's going to go down the line. Now Chol and Mackay, it'd be a good contest at the back. Korchek had a chance through his fingers. Miles was taken high, shrugged the tackle and got it away. Yep, spot on, Hilly. Vlosten takes it to half forward. Nicely marked. Now what can they do with it? Ballard looking for options inside the 50. Ignored the leads coming toward him, so now he's going to head across to the outer side. Arts sitting underneath it. The ball didn't favour him at all. Strawn read it nicely and got it away to Armfield. The Blues are off and running.
Yep, as he kicks up there, looking for Wilson. Wilson working with Chol, the tall and the short of it. Chol doing well just to corral Wilson, and he's being held. He'll get the free kick and advantage too. The kick into the middle of the ground finds Batchelor. Batchelor goes by hand over the top. They're just getting the run going. Darley, who's got Floston, who kicks inside the 50, looking for Broad. Through set to hand. Silvestro's got a bit of work to do. Well done by the Blues defence. Buckley, handball to no one in particular. Now he finds a teammate. It's Kerr, who works in close quarters, does well. They link up, back to Buckley. Kick across the ground is good. On centre wing finds Russell. Russell, who goes from one side of the ground to the other. Soldo is on his bike, but Strawn is there and takes the mark. Now they've got some space. Wilson, 60 from goal into inside the 50, and there's Dennis. Dennis Armfield, good passage of play from the Blues. And he takes the mark, and he'll be on a tight angle and kicking from 45 outs. Might as well go back and have the shot. And he looks like he is. Margin is 68 points before this kick. Kicked a goal today, Dennis.
His teammates think he won't kick the distance here. There's quite a few arms going around the.
Good confidence in your teammate as Armfield gives it absolutely everything. It goes right to the line. Mackay flew. Couldn't bring it through. It's punched over for a behind. 4-7-31. Plays 14-14-98. Behind a piece in this second quarter, which is almost 7 minutes old.
So the Tigers through the skipper, brings it to himself, kicks a long ball looking for Broad. One-hander, that's nice. Right in front of the Tiger faithful too. Not a bad place to pull that off as Broad looking for something in board. There's not much doing. Silvestro short down the line. He's not going to go to him. He stabs this right down the line over the head of Wood. It's out of bounds on the full. And it'll be an O'Shea ball on the half-back flank. So the Blues hoping to create something from half-back. O'Shea has been very serviceable coming across from Port Adelaide. Had a good year for the Blues. He's got the footy now. Bombs long. Soldo and Korchek. Oh, good strong body work. That was really impressive from Soldo. Didn't give the free kick away. His timing was magnificent and strength to boot. So he's taken the mark. He's going to give the handball away. Townsend sold a little bit of candy to Korchek. Got a good price. So he heads down the line, got it to Vloston, a little handball over the top. Now a chance for Ballard. He can straighten, he can chip, and the mark is not quite taken. Good defensive work in the end. Bathy picked it up, got the handball away. Hunt swings, got across the body. It's right to the line, and they'll knock it over. One behind the end result for Richmond, 99. They're one short of the ton. The Northern Blues, 31.
So O'Shea to bring the ball back into play for the Blues. Another 100-plus scoreline, you would think, for the Tigers. The kick goes outside the 50, or towards the 50 line as Byrne gets the handball, receive again. He's in all sorts of trouble. They're just going around in circles now. The kick over the head of White. Dangerous. Beasley trying to keep it in and now tackled over. White having to do the work because the kick missed the target, and so it'll be thrown in. 99 plays 31. Almost 9 gone in the final term at the Swinburne Centre. It's the ball tossed back in. Korchek, White, ball through hands over the top there. Now there's a bit of Floston puts it back across, working there with Ballard. It goes to the other side. And O'Shea onto it. Handball, Salt Stabber in all sorts of trouble. He took one high though from Stengel. And he'll get the free kick. On that outer side, on the station side of the ground. Still inside defensive 50. Kicks a long ball. Sitting underneath it is Batchelor, and he takes the mark. So a chance to go back inside 50. This kick, though, across the ground to the skipper. Darley has it inside the centre square attacking side. Little low ball for Floston, who takes the mark uncontested. They've got to be careful here, the Blues. Otherwise, this could blow out. Almost 10 minutes gone. And they're in a good position here, the Tigers, to really put the foot down. The Hundy might be on.
It's got that look about it, doesn't it?
As Floston prepares directly in front. He'll step inside the 50 now. The kick on the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks good. Floston with his first. Adds to the tally of goal kickers today. And the margin continues to extend. Importantly, over the 100 points for the Tigers today. And they have been dominant. 15-15, 105 to 4-7-31. 10.5 gone in the final quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Well, Josh Fraser was looking for a bit more effort in the last quarter from his troops, and he's just not getting it yet. We're 10 minutes into this last quarter and really yet to see, apart from probably Dylan Buckley, too many players put their hand up, say, I'm putting in my best effort today.
Yeah, could get real ugly real quick here. Here's Bolger in the middle. Can't stop the ball getting out, but it's wrapped up. Townsend will emerge with the footy. Doodle again.
Half time at Simmons Stadium, 8-3-51, the Dockers. The Cats, 4-5-29. So
Marriage to go up against Bolger again. Marriage got it down, but it's stolen away by Palmer. Little handball, okay now. No, he's not okay. I thought he might have got the handball away, but the umpire said no. Oh, it'll be a Tigers ball.
No, he's paid a sling.
Oh, okay. Makes a bit more sense. Palmer has it in the middle. Going to head to half forward on the burst is Sumner. He takes the mark, does he? Oh, gee, the umpire said no mark. A little bit unlucky there as Beasley mops it up, got it from Miles. Townsend takes the middle mark in the middle of his defensive 50 over the top. Got it to Marriage, back to Townsend. They're playing around with him nicely here. Smith has it at half back. Like to see him tuck it under the arm and take them on. He gave the handball away. Ellis to Chol. He's taking them on. Oh, lost the handle on the bounce. Was good enough to mop it up again. And then he just bolted through the middle. He's taken another bounce. Keep going. He just lost the handle on the footy in the end. The dream is over, but it was glorious while it lasted. Oh. Ball turned over in a big tackle in the middle. And there's a free kick going against Batchelor to Buckley, and the Blues have it at half back.
Oh, it might have been high rather than a hold.
Yeah.
As the kick goes across the ground. Nevertheless, there was the free kick there as Jack's going up the line. Oh, almost the mark, not paid. And Palmer just looks at the turf and says, what do I need to do? In the meantime, Bathy's in the middle of Punt Road Oval. He throws it on the boot. It's a high ball inside the 50. Ball falls to the back. Hits Garthwaite. He leaves it for his teammate in Wood, who just kicks a dribbling ball that will not make Jason Dunstall happy and through for a behind. I suppose at this time of the game you can afford to do things like that. 15-16, 106 to 4-7-31. Almost 13 minutes gone in this final term. Big win coming up for the Tigers as the Blues try to clear. Kerr outmarked, ball near the line. Oh, and Darley just dumped over the line. And we'll have it thrown in. A little bit of push and shove going on too. Kerr trying to get involved. The boy also there.
That seemed more of a sling tackle there on that occasion, apart from compared to the one that was in the middle only a few minutes ago.
Sumner making a nuisance of himself too. Half forward for the Blues. On a tough day, Palmer gets through. Works it for, should say half forward here for the Tigers, because that's where it's been for most of the game. Anyway, Taylor Hunt's taken the mark at centre half forward. His kick across the ground is going to be turned over, and Strawn takes the mark and is off. Takes a couple of bounces, heads up towards centre wing on the outer side. Looking for Byrne, who's in all sorts of trouble, wrapped up in the tackle, turnover. Ooh. Stengel gets around a couple and now kicks and squares up for Bathy, who's got a long leg. Instead, he just chips it over the top. Oh, that's easy. That is far too easy from the Tigers. Excellent movement of the footy. And it is Brandon Wood, I should say, who's got it, not Jake Arts. And Wood hasn't kicked a goal today. A couple of behinds for him, 3. Chance here to further extend the margin and get closer to that 100 points, that magical 100 points. 14.5 gone in the final term. As he comes in on the 5 and the 0-50. He kicks from 48 and just hangs it out to the right, off the side of the boot. 15-17, 107 to 4-7-31. 15 gone, final term.
Fair to say Sting may have just gone out of this one as the Blues bring it out of their defensive pocket. O'Shea down the line, fisted away from Bolger by Soldo. Away they go though. Buckley, I should say, on the end of it. Kicks a long ball down the line for Sumner. He's got Darley to beat. The old stager just happy to be waltzed across the line, and they'll toss it in. Half forward for the Blues. A rare chance in this last quarter to get themselves going. Yet to register a goal, just the one behind. In fact, since quarter time, they've only managed 2 for the afternoon. It's been slim pickings, 4-7-31 their total at the moment. Wilson trying to get them going. Lost a handle on his handball as he headed towards the line. Oh, gee, almost some friendly fire there. Bounced off Ballard. He goes to get it again. Ballard, big tackle. Look at the Tigers in front of us. 3-on-1. Don't mind the fact that it's 107-31. They've not given up a moment. It's a little sore.
They were right in front of you, Gilly. There you could hear it.
Just a stinger there on Kieran Burns' shoulder. He's tough though.
He had three of them at once. No surprise he came up sore. Miles through hands to Soldo, to Ballard, to Miles, and the Tigers working it to half forward. Stengel flew high. Oh. Gee, that was impressive. I'm not sure if that was a set play from the Tigers, but it's going to work out okay. Except there's a free kick. It's going to go the Blues' way.
Was tunnelling your own teammate there, I thought.
Bit of leapfrog. Wilson has it. Goes across the ground to Stavro, who takes the mark at his defensive goal square.
He's got no idea which way he wants to go. He's just going to go short. And really, they just haven't been able to get anything fluid going.
They haven't really looked dangerous since about the 20-minute mark of the first quarter, have they, Pete?
No, as Armfield's double teamed. Will he get away with a free kick? No. It'll go the way of the Tigers. And Caulfield, who was prominent early, should take the free kick. He does. Just bomb it long. Why not? Well, Caulfield decides to handball it to Smith. 23rd player. This time he bombs it long. Top of the goal square. Soldo's taken out of the contest. Is the mark going to be paid to Burn? It will. In the defensive goal square. All sorts of holding going on down there. He finds White, who's a short option. The longer option wasn't on either. That's just terrible play, really, from the Blues. But that's what happens when the pressure is on you. And Ryan Garthwaite, well, this will be pretty impressive if he can nail it from here. Goalless today. Goalless for the season. And he'll have a shot from 52 metres out. Near the boundary line, near the station, where the fans are rolling into the MCG. 18 minutes gone, just inside the 50. It's a high ball. And it's missed to the left-hand side. 15-18, 108, playing 4-7-31. We've gone 18 minutes in the final term.
Oh, nice hands from Bolger. That was a strong set of mitts in front of Caulfield there, and he's got it at half-back for the Blues. Trying to just work their way out of trouble. Long ball. In the air, Scholl. Beaten to the footy by Batchelor, fists it forward. Graham, handball inboard to Ballard. Townsend's got one to get around in Stavru, so he handballs to Miles. Across the ground they go. They can steady the ship. Broad. Handball across to Miles. Little dinky kick okay for Townsend, who was smashed into by White, but did well. He held onto the footy, and he has possession. Too far out to score, you'd think. Might be too far out to score for Anthony Rocker. So he kicks to 40 out. Wants a big mark. Soldo 1-2. Couldn't quite take it on the third time. Stengel. Oh, let him go. Let him go, umpire. There's a free kick. It's going to go the Blues' way. I would have liked to have seen Stengel given the opportunity.
Understandable why he wasn't let go there, Leedsy.
Oh, yes, but think of the crowd, Pete. The game's done and dusted. They just want to see another step from Stengel. As the Blues head to the outer side, this one's out of bounds on the full. The Tigers can reload and have another go.
Could start calling it the Stengel step.
I like that, Hilly. I like it a lot. Miles had it knocked away, but calm, composed. Got it back to Townsend underneath the scoreboard. 108-31. Tigers by plenty. Across the ground finds Beasley. Handball okay for Hunt. Little chip to half forward. Garthwaite has it 80 from home. Now, there's a lead from the square. He ignores that. He's going to Scholl on the wing to fatten up the stats page a little bit there. He's got Hunt down the line. Ignores that. We know he can kick it a long way. He sets it high, and it was all too easy in the end for Ballard. Soldo came crashing in, but I'm not sure if he was going for the mark or not. He cleared his man out of the contest, and the kick will come from Ballard on the 50, where it's painted into the arc. And he'll kick from just on the paint, I reckon.
Just the bigger question, I think, this afternoon is who's Hilly going to interview at the end of the match?
Yeah, Anthony Miles might be the man today. He's played a ripping game.
Not Robinson Crusoe there.
So Jacob Ballard is across the face with his kick. Inaccuracy might just cost them raising the bat here. 109 to 31. Could have been a lot more in truth. 20 gone last term.
And really should have been. There's the kick out here for the Blues. They're just hacking it out as much as they can. Jack saw good position in the end. Juggler, but took it. Point of the square, defensive side for the Blues. He kicks near the circles. Bit of work here for Bolger, who's held off the footy. And will take the free kick eventually when he gets the ball back, which he does now. So he sets Buckley running. Buckley kicks a long high ball into the pocket. Charles there again, working with Armfield. Now there's an opportunity. Palmer tries to go around the body, and that's out of bounds on the full, and that sums up their day.
Just sums up a bit of Reece Palmer's game today as well. He's had plenty of it. Massive amount of the ball. Would be easily the leading possession getter for the Blues, but it's just disposal and delivery at crucial moments of the game just let him down.
So Townsend to take the free kick in the back pocket for the Tigers. 22 minutes gone. He's going to go across the ground to Chol in the opposite pocket. The odd Chol kicks up the line, looking for, not finding Silvestro. Wilson comes in. He's immediately ridden into the ground, and the umpire says, give it to me. So 109 plays 31, 22 gone. And, well, the Tigers, be interesting to see what their percentage is at the end of today, as we see a free kick and advantage paid to Graham. He kicks further afield. Ball into the path here of McCready. He's twisting and turning, running out of room. He puts the ball up. Oh, almost the fly there from Arts. May have landed heavily. He gets to his feet quickly. They've still got the footy here. Bathy picks up for the Tigers, waits for the traffic to go past. And it's got a player alongside. It's Graham again who kicks inside the 50. Stengel. And good contest. It goes over the back and over the line for a throw-in. It's time winding down. 22, almost 23 minutes gone in this final quarter. 15-9, 109, plays 4-7-31. It's going to be a big win for the Tigers. There's the ball to be thrown back in. Looking there is Marriage. Townsend's come up the ground. White onto it. He's tackled over the line. We'll do it all again. Things starting to wind down. Good crowd making their way across to the MCG. A few folks leaving the grandstands now.
Yeah, I think we can safely say that this one's in the bag. Ball toss back in.
Fair to say.
Korchek and Marriage. Chan's out the back. Coming through Russell. Tacked the footy well. Got it to White, who started well, but it's been largely unsighted since halfway through that second term. Comes to Jacks, who's thought about taking the kick, but the umpire advised that it was Mackay's ball. And he's got it defensive side of centre wing, punt road side of the ground. He's going to head with a long ball. Soldo flew, couldn't take the mark. Caulfield goes to work at ground level, done some neat things today. Gets this little handball out the back. This is okay for the Tigers. Chol's going to get on the end of it from Ballard. Little left foot kick. Can he find his fellow big man? He can. Marriage has it 60 from home. Little handball across. Finds Beasley. 52 out. Sets it to the top of the square. Batchelor's got the sit. Couldn't take it first time. Didn't matter. He was being held on to. And he'll kick from 25 out directly in front. Around the grounds up at Eureka Stadium, it's Geelong 5-3-33 at quarter time over the Roosters, 3 straight 18. So the kick to come from Batchelor. He'll only have 30 to cover, and he'll be pretty much directly in front. There's a slight angle to contend with, but I suspect that he will be well and truly backing himself in for this one. 15-19, 109 to 4-7-31. It's been a tremendous day for Richmond. 13 goal kickers too. Yeah, nice even spread as Batchelor's one of them. He has one to his name, and now he's got two. 16-19, 115 to 4-7-31. 25 gone last term. Well, they may not get to the Hundy. Well, they certainly deserve it because they played super footy today.
against a side that's been lacklustre. Well, that's putting it nicely. They haven't turned up today, the Blues.
It's probably the first time we've seen them really turn their toes up in any game this year, and it really reminds you of a couple of the games that they played last year with the, obviously the 2016 lineup. They've been really good this year, so Josh Fraser will be shattered with this performance. Absolutely shattered, I would imagine.
For Richmond next week, they face Essendon at Windy Hill. For the Northern Blues, Box Hill. Doesn't get any easier as Wilson kicking inside the 50 is just going to turn the footy over.
That's just a perfect example of the lack of structure.
Oh, it's horrible. Just the Tigers' backs allowed to do whatever they like. Here's Miles getting on the end of it. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Craig coming up there, Jake Arts, to take the mark.
Craig McRae said at quarter time it wasn't their deliberate action to have the one-man back, so obviously the Blues had probably started with one and then they followed, so it's really worked for them today.
As Townsend goes into the side the 50, heading towards the pocket, another mark and another opportunity. Another chance for Garthwaite here to get on the goal sheet. Hasn't kicked one this season. And he'll do it after the siren. Short quarter, only 2 goals in it, so you can understand why it's short. And the Blues have only kicked the one behind in the quarter. But let's see, and put a bit of icing on the cake here for the Tigers. Ryan Garthwaite to get on the goal sheet. He'll be the 14th player who's kicked a goal today for the Tigers. Oh, it's going across the face and won't make the distance. It matters not, because the Tigers are going to record an impressive win. A big win too. 16-19, 115 to 4-7-31. The only downside for the Tigers, the injury to Steve Morris. He pinged his hamstring in the third quarter. But really, that was the only dampener of what's been an excellent start to the day so far if you're a Tigers fan. The final margin, 84 points. They led by 22 at half-time. As we can sort of hear the song faintly in the background. Scores were level at quarter time, and then the Tigers led by 22 at half time, 67 at three-quarter time, and then 84 into the final wash-up. The goal kickers to full time, and there were plenty of them for the Tigers today. 2 goals each to Batchelor, Hunt and Scholl, and singles the rest. Floston, Marriage, Townsend, Miles, Alice, Graham, Stengel, Ballard, Bathy and Arts. I think I've got them all. And for the Northern Blues, Kerr, Sumner, Gallucci and Korchek. They were the only goal kickers today for the Northern Blues, held goalless in the final quarter and just 2 goals from quarter time. So Hilly is getting into position. Lots of shaking of hands going on out there. And Hilly, down to you.
Thanks, Peter. Just joined by Anthony Miles. And, mate, you must be pretty impressed with the team performance today.
Yeah, coming here, it was always a danger game for us, and Northern Blues have been in great form. I think they're in the top 4, so it's good for us to get a scalp, and we played extremely well. I think we played well here, so it was nice to get the points.
You seem to stamp your sort of authority on the game early, and then the Blues sort of got the better of you in the second half of the first quarter, but from then on, it was all your way.
Yeah, I think that breeze, was probably stronger than what it seemed. So in that second quarter, we were able to take advantage of that, and we always knew that they were going to come back in that first quarter. So it was good to wrestle the momentum back and score from there.
You got a lot of first use today out of the ruck. The taller boys were quite helpful.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky down here with both of Vans. They're super players. Van's been an exceptional AFL player for a long time, and Van Soldo's going to be a great player as well. Only 20, so yeah.
You would have been pleased with your own personal form today. I'm not sure what the touches were in the end, but you seem to have a lot of it.
Yeah, as I said, I think I owed a fair bit to the rucks, and it was nice to get a bit of the footy, but obviously nice to win.
I think that gets the Tigers to 5-5 in the VFL, so ready for the back half of the year.
Yeah, we haven't been too focused on results, just our process, but it's nice to even up the ledger and hopefully go ahead of it next week.
Beautiful. Thanks for your time today, Anthony.
Nice, thanks, mate.
Nicely done. Thank you, Hilly. Anthony Miles with Glenn Hill down there, and the Tigers will make their way under. Might have a crack at the song. Probably unlikely, but we'll see how we go. 16-19, 115, 84-point winners over the Northern Blues, 4-7-31. And I mean, talk about other players who got plenty of stats and all that sort of stuff today, but the spread of goal kickers was also impressive.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Craig will probably be most impressed by that. There's nothing more dangerous for an opposition coach is to know that you just can't plug one hole. You've got to keep an eye on all of them, and it was very even across the board. We mentioned it during the call. They can put a team away, Richmond, when they're up and running, and they're being warmly applauded as they make their way off Punt Road Oval.
Including Steve Morris is also making his way off with the team.